to comply.
I'm so tired of people in South City think that they can control people because they want to muscle their way.
Hey, so we were in Walmart and Wood River, Illinois. This officer right here behind us just followed us in the store. You just video. He said we can't video, but he just told us we were on body cam. He just followed us from outside, told us that we cannot wear masks. There's a presidential order, there's a state order, and he's following us right now to the store. We're being asked to leave for being safe.
Nigga, don't tell me what niggas say about me. Tell me why they feel comfortable telling you. Yeah.
That's hard body. That's hard body. Welcome to Quarantine News. We'll do this like every Friday night. We're gonna talk about the weird, the strange, downright ridiculous shit that's going on while we going through these rough times. And some of it is people just trying to get through. You dig? The first story, and I showed a clip of this in an edit I did a little while ago that I know most of y'all seen, but I never got a chance to really talk about it. So I'm gonna play the clip, then we're gonna talk about it.
Hey, so we were in Walmart and Wood River, Illinois. This officer right here behind us just followed us in the store. You just video. He said we can't video, but he just told us we were on body cam. He just followed us from outside, told us that we cannot wear masks. There's a presidential order, there's a state order, and he's following us right now to the store. We're being asked to leave for being safe. And this is what we're doing right now. I'm going to upload this as soon as we leave the store. This is the officer following us out of the store for absolutely no reason.
Hey, Lisa.
If anybody knows, anybody's watching, the coronavirus is real. This guy is following us. There's more people, but he followed us from outside. From outside, he followed us all the way in the freaking store just to follow us out of the store. That's him. There he is.
We're getting kicked out of Walmart for wearing masks. Are you serious?
Hey, so coronavirus is real. This police officer just put us out for wearing masks and trying to stay safe.
Hell no.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, that's fucked up, right?
That is. That's fucking
Oh,
He say it's a city law. We can't
I am
wear
putting this on.
masks because
This
of
is
the
going
virus.
viral right now. I'm going to put this on every social media platform.
Alright, so it's strange to me that they would say that they can't be around in the store with the mask on. Now, this story happened, I think it's about 2 weeks old from the time that I got to it, right? Now, granted, I can't say I see anybody else in the store with a mask on. You only see them and the officers. A report that came out a little bit after the incident, and a statement that the police gave, which I couldn't find to put up here. But in short, it said that they wasn't getting escorted out the store just because they had the mask on. They said that a few of the staff reported that they was walking around looking suspicious, like they was stealing or cuffing. And me myself personally, I know being a manager for a grocery chain, that what tends to happen and what they tell all of us to do, which I hate it, don't really like it, but if we see people walking around the store looking suspect, as they call, like with a book bag or big purse, or even just grabbing too many items and putting them in the cart, they ask to call certain code on the radio. Sometimes they might say, you know, say code such and such, check aisle such and such, tell security to check aisle such and such is close to them, or constantly get on the person's nerves so they know you're around. Like ask them, do they need help with something? Blah, all this other bull crap that they tell us to do, which does absolutely anything, because no employee can physically stop somebody from taking anything, to be honest. And it's not considered theft or stealing or shoplifting until the person actually leaves the store. Just because somebody put a item inside of a bag or even inside of a pocket doesn't actually mean they're stealing until they attempt to leave out the store without paying. So this particular situation here, I don't know the ins and outs of it. We only know what the brother who recorded it said, and him and his younger brother look like to me that more than likely the report is half truths on both sides. You understand what I'm saying? That to them, they probably was just walking around the store saying what they was going to get, if they was going to get anything at all, just to get out of the house and probably pick up a few things. To the people in the store, and maybe the people that worked in the store, it looked like, one, because they was young. Two, more than likely they color played the issue in it. Three, this is just what it's going to be. You understand what I'm saying? It looked like the officer came and don't look like put his hands on anybody, which is always, the thing that I'm uncomfortable with is much talking that they was doing to the officer. Right, wrong, and different. In the climate that we've been in lately over the last few years, look, homie, ain't nothing to prove, record, and keep moving. Like, don't give them no reason to try to put hands on you, to try to say that you wasn't complying or you was being insubordinate. Just keep moving. We can't afford to be doing that. Whether you recording or not, you can't afford to be running your mouth back and forth. And I don't know why we've been doing a little bit more of that lately, but chill and calm down with that. Too many of us been losing our lives over situations like this. Not saying that it's their fault, but let's not engage with these cats, man. Let's not engage with these cats at all. Let's not do it. We're gonna get into the next story, and this one here absolutely makes no sense to me at all, because I don't even understand why somebody would attempt to do something like this. See this gentleman right here on the screen? I see this gentleman. He's from California. Y'all want to know what he did last Saturday around 6:15? He stole, and don't ask me how he got this. This whole story is a little suspect to me. But he stole a specimen of the COVID-19 virus from the hospital, from Davis Hospital in California. Why would you do that? I have no idea why. How did he even know what it was? I don't know. This whole shit sounds funny to me. But they were still looking for the cat at the time of the story. Not sure if they found him now, but they found the specimen at a CVS inside a cart. Seal not broken. This is what they say. The seal wasn't broken. The seal was still on there the way that it's supposed to be on there. All that, this, that, and the third. Police there claim that they're very familiar with this individual. He's part of the homeless community up there. They claim it could be some mental issues with him or whatever. All that sounds suspect. Mental issues or not, why is homeboy stealing a specimen of COVID-19? Why are you doing that? Why would you even think about doing something like that? What was your plan? To take it, push around, try to infect people? Like, what was the deal? Like, it seems funny to me. Y'all can tell me whether I'm reaching or I'm overreacting, but mental issue or not, he had enough awareness, because this is what I'm looking at. He was aware enough to know what he was getting, what it does, all that. Like, he knew all this, so he ain't crazy stupid. He understood exactly what he was doing. So to me, the whole shit don't sound right. It sounds like somebody put him in there to go get that. Like somebody asked him to go do that. Somebody gave him a couple dollars to go do that. You know what I'm saying? And they probably was supposed to go meet at the CVS. He was supposed to leave inside something, and they were supposed to pick it up, and somebody else ended up just finding it or whatever. That's what it sounded like to me. And they putting out this whole, and why even put this story out in the first place? Now, how paranoid people is. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me, anybody that worked at that CVS, anybody that was in that CVS, need to go get tested. They probably even need to close the motherfucker down. Like, what the fuck? Motherfuckers stealing COVID-19 specimens and doing what with it? Exactly. He's supposedly homeless. So he got a microscope. He was going to check it out. He was going to see if he could find a cure. Get the fuck out of here. That shit don't even sound right. They can say he got some mental issues all they want, but it don't sound right to me. You know what I'm saying? I say get him. I'm going to see what further comes out about this. See if anything else is ever even mentioned about him. Because I don't think they're going to do a whole bunch of hunting for dude. But 24 hours later anyway, they found the specimen at a CVS. I just don't get what he was doing with it that whole time. He ain't never break the seal. And see, that's the part that's suspicious. He never broke the seal of it. And then it ends up being found in a car at CVS. Y'all just tell me whether that's suspect or not. It's strange as hell, I know. But that's some weird shit by itself. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna take this out the screen. And we're gonna watch this. I thought this was interesting. And I'm gonna share it with y'all. Just because I thought it was interesting. Check it out.
That's been in business since before World War II, where Bud Heavy is still cool and pride is king.
Quiet, comfortable living room kind of bar where people just kind of go to get away from their life and be comfortable somewhere where they don't have to kind of deal with stuff.
But Wednesday, they did have to deal with some stuff for only the second time in 83 years that anyone knows of.
Look up over the door, and there's some guy there with an awfully big gun.
Someone tried to rob the place.
That was the sketchy thing to me, him being so erratic.
The lone gunman waved what police say was a heavily modified pistol around the room, ordering people on the ground and demanding their money and phones. But when he came to one of the regulars, something unusual happened.
He was a wild card that the guy wasn't expecting.
Not another punk trying to pull a punk move.
Tony Tovar refused to comply.
I'm so tired of people in South City think that they can control people because they want to muscle their way in with firearms or bad attitudes or, you know, some kind of aggression.
People who were there say after that, the robbers settled for the cash drawer and left. No one was hurt, and just about everyone but Tony thinks he's a big reason why.
A lot of us want to be like that. A lot of people want to stand up to somebody like that, but when a gun is pointed at you, I don't know if any of us would react that way.
I just had a really good feeling that he wasn't out to harm anybody. He just wanted drug money. But it's probably not in your best interest if they have a loaded firearm. I wouldn't suggest that to just anybody.
Would you do it differently?
Absolutely not.
Keith?
So I guess this dude is a hero, and for what? Pretty much being an asshole. He could have got his wig blown off. Straight back. What the fuck are you doing? You could have got your shit blown straight off. But he's sitting there smoking the whole time, agitating. Dude wouldn't come up off of nothing. And they think he ain't hurt nobody just because, nah, dude was right. He ain't have no intentions on hurting anybody. He just came in there for the money. But what if he didn't? What if he didn't? Why put your life in danger like that? Hey, Liz. Salute, sweetheart. Love the picture, by the way. But this weirdo. Like, dude came in there. Of course he wrong. Whatever. We get all that. Shouldn't be robbing the place. But homie right here is smoking the cigarette. Not even, you can see the part where he trying to get whatever it is out his hand, and dude like, nah, this man could have blew his back off. Hey, hold on, let me see if I can. Let's see if we can.
Nolan, 5 on your side.
I can't even. But we get the gist of that anyway. I was gonna rewind it back, but I don't even feel like doing all that. But he could have blew his back off, like being an ass for the death wish or something. It don't even make. I don't understand that. Like, what was you doing, homie? Like, something going on in your life, or everybody. You see the dude beside him, like hovering down and covering up. Hold on. Let's check it out one more time.
That's been in business
I'm gonna show y'all what I'm
since before
talking
World War II, where Bud Heavy is still cool and pride is king.
Quiet, comfortable living room kind of bar where people just kind of go to get away from their life and be comfortable somewhere where they don't have to kind of deal with stuff.
But Wednesday, they did have to deal with some stuff for only the second time in 83 years that anyone knows of.
Look up over the door, and there's some guy there with an awfully big gun.
Someone tried to rob the place.
That was the sketchy thing to me, him being so erratic.
The lone gunman waved what police say was a heavily modified pistol around the room, ordering people on the ground and demanding their money and phones. But when he came to one of the regulars, something unusual happened.
He was a wild card that the guy wasn't expecting.
Not another punk trying to pull a punk move.
Tony Tovar refused to comply.
I'm so tired of people in South City.
Look, he trying to take it out of his hand. Dude not gonna let it. He not even gonna let it go. Like, what's wrong with you, my G? Like, what's going on with you?
Think that they can control people because they want to muscle their way in with firearms or bad
And dude didn't even try to further do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost to the point where they probably could have unarmed dude. He probably could have took the gun right out of his hand. The guy with the gun didn't want no smoke. And for some reason, this guy right here could sense he ain't want no smoke. Maybe it was the way he was walking around. I don't know. Maybe it was the look in his eye. But I think he kind of had maybe some type of feel for it. But what if he was wrong? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. But you can tell dude didn't want no smoke, even after that little tussle shit. He wasn't even trying hard with the tussle to take the stuff out of dude's hand. He really wasn't. He wasn't trying at all. Let's move on. We're going to check out this little clip. My bad, y'all. Didn't mean to do that. Bear with me.
Since other influenzas have swept the world, but none have been quite like this.
The coronavirus now a global pandemic.
This is like no other.
Now go inside the lives of people living in quarantine and learn how you can stay safe from the virus. Fox Nation brings you 3 new specials diving into the world of pandemics. Don't miss 5 Flus, Pandemics and Epidemics 101, and Quarantined. Available now only on Fox Nation.
Salute Queen P. Salute Queen P. Thanks for stopping through. But y'all saying in the beginning of this little conversation about the spy thing. It's something really into that spy thing that too many people ain't talking about and touching on. I'm probably gonna speak on it a little bit coming up soon. I've been trying to do a little research on that to try to find a reliable source, because a lot of the reports that's coming out about the spy situation when it comes to the COVID-19 and those two individuals being charged, because it is an actual pending case between somebody to believe to be a spy that was here in the United States from that country with the specimen back in late December, early January. It's true shit. The only thing I can't do is find an actual article from a credible news source on what's surrounding the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got bad information from reliable sources. All the extra shit is coming from, all these little satire sites and all these propaganda sites that's designed to get us riled up in the first place. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't like, and I know a lot of people use those sources, and that's fine. I just don't like using those things because 9 times out of 10, they ain't real credible, and they make up things to further whatever narrative they running at the time. But it is something to this spy thing. It is something to it. You know what I mean? I just don't know what or why we had it, because they act like, it wasn't over here to be tested on, but it obviously was. You know what I mean? Because that person was arrested here. You know what I mean? And the thing, now I know people don't generally feel sorry for people who they believe have more than them. And the next statement I'm making really has nothing to do with Ellen. It has a lot to do with the staff that works on her show. Because the thing that people don't put into consideration when you're dealing with celebrities, they have people that work for them also. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what are those people doing through this time? You know what I mean? Can they even apply for unemployment? You know what I mean? Of course, the people that probably work for the network can apply for unemployment, but the people that work directly for her, ain't no unemployment for that. Ain't no unemployment for that. And a lot of those people, all of those people, as what's being said, hasn't been told when the show is going to start back. And obviously, she started doing it from the privacy of her own home, because with technology, those are things that you can do now where she don't need to be in studio or anything like that. You know what I mean? She don't need to be in studio, so she can still maintain her presence, her brand, all that. But the rest of those people, what do they do? How do they come up with some income? You know what I'm saying? That's what I say about that. I'm gonna let this continue playing. I just wanted to say that in the middle of this. And to me, that's bullshit. I wanted to start doing my new show as soon as possible, because I know people going to need it at a time like this. Nah, you started this show because you know you needed to keep that moving. Yeah, I got a cold. they started, they already know. Like, come on now. Like, I get it. You got to make it seem like, and y'all know me, I'm just skeptical of every fucking thing. But still, let's not try to make this like this is just for the people. You're not doing this shit for free. Yeah, it's my sinuses and allergy season and all that shit. It's got me going through it right now, but I'm alright. You know what I mean? And what's going on with these rallies? Like, what are we having What are we having these rallies for? Like, we want to open up. You done heard what the guidelines is, and I get it. I get it. Bunch of us don't trust the government. I get all that. So we having these rallies because we want everything to open back up. But we did hear what the said guidelines is, right? If it's, and this is for every state. So for those that don't know, I'm going to tell y'all, and y'all can go look it up after I say it. But the guidelines are, if a city or state go 14 days without no new cases, then they can start opening back up. At least that's what the governor here in Virginia say. That's what the governor in Maryland said, and somewhere else, because DC, they collaborating together on decisions on this side. So since we're still having cases over here, nothing is reopening. I just don't get, why would you be in that big of a rush to reopen? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Small businesses are suffering right now because that money done ran out, but they working on different bills for people that's working. The only reason why the bill for us essential workers actually got denied in the first place is because with inside that bill, it wasn't enough funds allocated towards small businesses and non-essential workers. And that was to give, and that should be something separate anyway. And I'm not even going to speak on my job or my position and say what I believe we deserve, because I'm going to go for the medical staff first. I'm going to say these people, I know a close friend of mine got exposed to the virus working at the hospital, had to be tested and waiting for her test results to come back. Like, that shit not a game. People out here working, putting their lives on the line. We should be wanting those people to get paid. I'm just saying. Now, for you small business owners, and I know, and I know at a time like this, everybody, you know what I mean, feeling some type of way, especially if you're a small business owner, especially if you work for a small business and all that, because funding is hard. It then got cut down to the smallest that it's been. So they're going to keep pushing the money out there. Chill. These rallies, you ain't doing nothing but putting yourself in danger and more people in danger. Y'all gathering up, doing all this bullshit. And for what? For what? And a lot of this got something to do with who the president is at this particular time. Like, we need to chill. I know how we feel about dude in the office, but it is what it is. It is what it is at this standpoint. And we got to say that since this thing been going on, despite how any of us might feel about the cat, he been trying to do the stand-up thing. He ain't forced nothing. He ain't do what everybody thought he was going to do, and that's a minute of martial law. And that's because they trying to protect the Constitution as much as possible, for real, for real. You think he didn't want to do that shit? I'm pretty sure he did. But he know what goes into that. Like, chill. Like, what are we doing this for? We doing all that for it. Don't even make sense. But I'm gonna let this shit finish playing. It just don't even make sense to me. And look at it, look at this crazy motherfucker. He's in support of it. You know what I'm saying? I was saving that for last. He is in support of people doing this. And you know why he in support of it? Because it creates conflict. He likes conflict because he likes attention. He likes to be the one that can say, I fixed this. I'm the reason why it stopped. He likes doing that. He hasn't really done anything during his term yet. I must say throughout this process, and like I said before, for the most part, the Senate, the House has done their job. I'll say that. And he has supported them on them doing their job. I'll say that. But as far as him being a president, we will find out his second term, just like with any president. Your first term is pretty much dealing with a lot of the policies from the term before, from the previous administration. That's what your first term is about. Your second term is always about getting your policies through. So we shall see, and we'll be able to judge accordingly then. Can't really judge now. But he's in support of this shit. This dude is a bozo. He's confused. All of them confused. Like, you ever notice when they do them briefings, and I really think they need to stop doing them, John, so at least stop letting him do it. Because I don't think these people be coordinating with each other or having conversations before they start these things. Because he come out and he say one thing, and then when one of the doctors come up there or the researchers come up there, they saying something totally different than him. It's confusing to the public. A lot of that shit, I believe, is what's leading to a lot of these rallies, because people confused. People are confused in what the message is and why we still down. And I don't think many of us really take it seriously. I don't think many of us believe that it's as bad as it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, for us, if a lot of people, and we're like this as humans, period, if it's not affecting us directly, then we always look at it like it's some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's not what it is. But believe me, when I tell you, the people that are getting it, the people that already have health problems, there's people walking around that don't even know that they got shit wrong with them. They got shit wrong with them. You feel what I'm saying? I seen somebody, and I thought this shit was funny. Only reason why I'm about to bring it up before I start this back, I thought it was funny. I seen somebody post something on Facebook, and the post said, has anybody seen any dope fiends or crackheads get the coronavirus? And it made me think for a minute. And they made a joke afterwards saying that the whole country gonna be on crack and heroin because that's probably the cure. That's a little funny or whatever. But on the flip side of that is, it could be a bunch of them with it, but because of especially heroin, masks so many issues somebody could have. That's why so many people, when they're going through withdrawal, they're going through detox, it's only drug where they like, give you a medication to come down off of that shit and mass shit for so long. A lot of them illnesses start popping up as soon as they get clean. And a lot of them, especially the ones that have been on it for years and up in age now, when they come off of it, health problems arise. Most of them end up passing away. My stepfather, for instance, you know what I mean? He was a heroin addict for the majority of his life. towards the end of his life, when he decided to get clean, he started finding out everything was wrong with him. If you seen him before, then you thought he was healthy. You wouldn't even have been able to tell he was a fucking heroin addict, which is the sad part about it. He just knew how to carry himself. He was a functioning addict. You feel what I'm saying? But when he got clean, ended up finding out he had diabetes, all this other shit. They had to amputate his leg, and he passed a year later. You know what I mean? We always said if he'd have stayed on that shit, he'd probably still been alive. But I don't know. The post was funny though. I thought it was interesting too, because they still out there. They still out there, and they ain't afraid of none of that shit. They ain't worrying about no goddamn corona. They ain't worrying about none of that shit. They worrying about their next blast. You know what I mean? And they still able to hit that hole and go do what they gotta do, because that ain't stopped moving. You know what I mean? And that's a weird another thing. I don't know if anybody paid any attention to this. Ain't nothing supposed to be, ain't nothing really supposed to be moving, right? We ain't supposed to be doing this, we ain't supposed to be doing that. But you notice, there's certain things that they making sure are allowed to take place, and for right reason. They didn't want to close liquor stores and no shit like that. You heard what they said. They didn't want people going through alcohol withdrawal. Same thing apply for drugs. You know how many hospitals would be filled up if motherfuckers wasn't able to get what they needed on the streets, especially when it come to that heroin. Fuck out of here. They ain't need all that extra attention at the hospital. So they still making sure things move in that lane the way it would normally move. That's all I'm going to say when it pertains to that. That's just obvious. You know what I mean? We're going to go back to watching that. So, I'm not sure of what Shorty did or didn't do. Not too sure about that one. I'm not sure. Now, I'm gonna say before we get into this last one, just a little graphic. Ain't no blood or nothing, but it's a little graphic. Some of y'all might have seen it already. But we gonna watch it again. Hopefully it don't get reported. But it's a little, I'm gonna say it's a little graphic. And for y'all who haven't seen it yet, this happened in Chicago. And I'm gonna let it play out, and then we're gonna talk about it afterwards. And this just happened a few days ago.
I already took it out. Already that's so.
Just one thing, that damn security camera they got in this store is off the chain. Sound and everything. Like, they ain't playing. Like, legitimately has sound and everything. I think this is the first time I worked for one of the biggest grocery chains in the United States. And that damn video system we got, they ain't got no goddamn sound. It's just some black and white shit that we look over. Like, this shit is official. You know what I'm saying? I mean, camera work ain't the best quality, but you can actually hear this shit. All right, let's go.
Let me get Newport 100. Hey, Charlie for a Newport 100. Hey, look. And a Blue Point, Arizona. I'm gonna go get I'm saying Charlie for it. In the practice zone. Huh? You can write yourself? Yeah. Hey, what your homie on? Tell your homie on, Billy. You better watch who you talking to before that doubt right here. On the guy. Tell your homie on play. On the guy. Who you trying to? You know what I'm talking about. Tell your homie out there that better watch who you talking to on the guy. They talking about weed. I don't even smoke. Fuck out my face, dude. Fuck you on my fucking weed. Go. Motherfuckers just trying to sell you some weed. I said, how many times you gonna say it? He we're all to go on about on smoke. What do you want to stay on smoke? He said he said it. What you want to? You gonna rob me or something? Oh, now I'm feeling type of way. What the fuck? If somebody's gonna rob you, they did it already. They have to go die already. In this store, they have to go die right here. That's what's gonna happen. You want to die? I'm at. Oh shit. Hey, he's shot.
Now, one thing about this shit, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but I noticed it the first time I seen it, and can't say that it's a sound delay because we know, as we've been watching it, that the sound is pretty good. Like you can hear them, it's on point with the movement and their lips and talking. When he pulls out the weapon, it's aimed down at the ground. So when it first goes off, it's down to the ground before he actually points it up, which is weird. Like you hear the sounds before he even pointed at the individual. Somebody else did commentary on this, and they had a whole different direction that they went in on this, or what they had to say. So I'm gonna give mine on it and what I believe, and I believe the dude that was talking to the young dude was paranoid. He was afraid. He thought that they was setting him up to be robbed. He looked like he's a little older. He looked like he's an older gentleman. So he's from the time when they used to, before somebody would rob you, they would ask you shit like, do you want something? Or do you got change for a 5? Or you got change for a 10? Now again, I'm not saying this to condone the action. I am saying I'm looking at it from a different perspective. He looked afraid. He looked like he was paranoid. Even when he first walked into the store, he looked paranoid. When he first walked in there, the first thing he do, and we're going to watch it again, so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You can see him, because now that you've seen where he pulled it from, the next time we watch it, you're going to see as soon as he walk in the door, he going touch it a little bit, like just put his hand right there for reinsurance. As soon as he walk in the door, and you're going to see how he look beside him and behind him when he walk in there. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that during these times we done came to this point where he do that in the store, and you can tell he wasn't really. The crazy thing is, he was not. It's no way we can watch this and say that he was attempting or even trying, and no telling what happened once he got outside, because you hear more gunfire. And throughout that gunfire, it don't sound like him shooting back, because we hear what his sound like. And it's a sound difference and how loud it is, you feel what I'm saying? But the young man did get injured. But he was able to walk away. That's the good thing about it. He didn't die. Now again, I don't know what happened to the gunman. Ain't too much that came out about this story, but the video. Because they know how people is, you feel what I'm saying? So ain't too much come out about it. But we gonna check it out one more time. I'm gonna stop it and restart it. And I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. From when he first come into the store.
I already took it out. Already that's out.
That's the victim that just came in the store, right? See where he putting his hand at? Like, as soon as he walked in the door, see where he putting his hand at? He looking over there. He looking around. He already, and this is just my observation. From the time he walks in there, this dude is paranoid and afraid. His whole reaction was out of fear. And this is why I always say, respect is better than fear any day. A scared nigga will try to kill you. This man was scared. He thought them boys was going to rob him. He thought they was trying to set him up to rob him. He thought in his mind, more than likely, that somebody was aiming to get him. You feel what I'm saying? Look at the cat. He already, like, yo, my dude, ain't even nothing shaking. He already, you know what I mean? Look at his hand. He already, like, what's popping? Ain't nobody even done that. Let's keep going. Like, it's weird. And he knew, this the thing, he knew he wanted that Arizona, right? He knew he wanted this Arizona that he gonna go get after he asked for everything else. But 9 times out of 10, the youngin was over there by the Arizona, so he ain't walk immediately over there by the Arizona. So he stopped at the counter first. Like, this shit is like crazy. But let's watch.
Let me get about the new 400. Hey, Charlie for a new 400. Hey, look. And a Blue Point, Arizona. I'm gonna go get it. I'm saying, Charlie for it. And the pack is done. Huh?
Youngin gave him respect and everything. You know what I'm saying? Youngin stood back, and I'm gonna let it roll and show you how further Youngin gave him respect. But once Youngin gave him respect, what that then did show him that he had the weaker of the two in the store with him. He was still afraid, but it gave him the courage to actually say something to him. Because everything that he said to this young man inside the store, he could have said to them outside the store. He had the thing on him. He had the thing on him, yet again. But when he felt some type of way outside the store, he didn't say anything. And that was because of fear. He needed to find a place to have some courage to actually even say anything or do anything. You feel what I'm saying?
What your homie on? Tell your homie.
See, Youngin stepped back. Youngin stepped back, gave him his space back, all that. Soon as he see that, he say something to him. You understand what I'm saying? And for what? He's saying, tell your homie, my dude. You walk right past dude to come in here. You could tell him. But that wasn't what he was on because he was afraid. These are the things that fear can make a motherfucker do. And again, this is why I say respect is better than fear any day, because a scared motherfucker will kill you. Don't set out for nobody be afraid of me. Motherfuckers keep thinking a scared motherfucker won't hurt you. This man was afraid. Y'all can talk all this tough talk. He think he talking now, but that wasn't no tough talk. That was all fear.
You know what I'm talking about? Tell your homie out there, better watch who you talking to on the guy. They talking about weed, I don't even smoke. Fuck, I want to say, dude. Fuck, you know, motherfucking weed, go. Motherfuckers just trying to sell you some weed. I said, how many times you gonna sell? He grew all the gold bottle of smoke. What do you want to stay on smoke? He said he said it. What you want to?
Shorty just like motherfuckers was just trying to sell you some weed, man. Like, that's all. Dude talking like they know, like motherfuckers supposed to know him. So, this me, and I could be overthinking. I could be overthinking this a little bit. I don't know. But for some reason, he's assuming that the other cat know he don't smoke. That's what he's assuming. So he assuming, all right, I don't smoke. Why they keep offering me this? They try and get me. They gotta be trying to get me because they supposed to know I don't smoke, which is crazy unless they know him. But this is fear. This whole act was fear. Just even watch it after you take the blicky out. See what he said right there? What you gonna rob me or something? What you gonna rob me or something? Starting to feel some type of way. This nigga was paranoid. It's paranoid. That's fear. That's fear. It kills me. And I get everybody see things from different perspectives. And I ain't even saying my perspective is right. I ain't saying that. But some of you weirdos commentary be weird. Y'all supposed to be speaking from the standpoint similar to what I speak from. And I don't even see it. But anyway, I'm going to let it keep going. I'm getting off track. I'm going to get back on track. But this is fear. This wasn't something that was set out. This wasn't even the cat trying to be a tough guy. This whole reaction was because he was afraid that motherfuckers was going to rob him.
They have gonna die already, and it's still gonna die right here.
Look at him. Now, Sid pointed down to the floor. Down to the floor. Now listen for the sound before he even raised it. Just listen. Just listen. So I know I'm not reaching or overreacting or overthinking. It's just an observation of mine. And we can see, I'm going to say this before I started, we can see that the sound is fine. There's no delay in the sound. It's no delay. We've been watching them have a conversation for the last minute and a half or so. Now I'm going to replay it and listen for the sound before he even raise it waist level. He don't even raise it up chest level, head level. It's still at the ground. As far as he goes is waist level. So he was so shook. He was trying to scare the motherfucker. He wasn't trying to shoot Shorty. If he was trying to lay this man down, his hand would have been raised up to his head. He's arm length in front of him. He could raise up and touch him if he wanted to with that thing. He ain't do that. Watch. Y'all hear the sound? Y'all hear the sound before he even raised the joint? You hear the sound before he raised it. And then he raised it waist level, not chest level, not head level, waist level. No intention. Just further proof that the sound is right. And we hear the gunshots outside, and we don't even hear him return fire. We don't even hear him return the shit. You know what I'm saying? But that whole shit was just out of fear. He was afraid. He was afraid. He thought something was gonna happen to him. But no tough shit in that. This nigga wasn't really trying to be no whatever we want to call it, but he wasn't trying to be that. That wasn't where he was at. That wasn't where he was at with it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can get what they get out of it. I got what I got out of it. You dig what I'm saying? It's a fucked up story regardless. You know what I'm saying? Fucked up story regardless. But people underestimate people. They underestimate. You can't underestimate anybody. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. Even on this shit, people underestimate people all the time. All the time. It's people look at people and think they know what they're capable of. And you just don't. Yeah, right, Queen P. Like, you heard the shots before he even lifted up in the air. That's because he shot down at the ground. He shot down at the ground before he even raised it to waist level. And then he ain't go no higher than waist level. He wasn't no higher than waist level. You feel what I'm saying? He ain't pointed at that man's chest, head, nothing. He ain't do that. Like, that's all out of fear. You know what I mean? But after he pulled it, he had to do something with it. And it was really important to him that they knew that he wasn't afraid. That's how you can tell when a motherfucker is afraid. Because they want you to know that they ain't afraid. You know what I mean? Anytime somebody got to tell you something. And I know a lot of people say a lot of different things on here. That's way different than, you know, my philosophy. And that's cool. But for me, in the city that I'm from, we ain't tell people things before we did something. Like, if I was going to punch you in the face, I'm not telling you I'm going to punch you in the face before I punch you in the face. I'm just going to punch you in the face. That's just how things was where I was from. We ain't sell with tickets, as they say. Talk shit back and forth. Like, we ain't do that. And I ain't play like what y'all call it, jonesing, or in Baltimore we called it cracking on each other. That wasn't my thing. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't play like that. I don't play like that at all. I don't do your mama jokes. And I ain't do it with other people, so they ain't do it with me. At all. I just don't play like that. You know what I mean? People could say, oh, it's just jokes. But nah, to me, it's being disrespectful. It's giving you leeway to disrespect me. And I'm big on respect. You know what I mean? Not fear, not intimidation. I'm big on respect. And those things have guided me my whole entire life because that's the way that I was brought up. All for respect. I give it out. I receive it in return. You know what I mean? That's just the way I am. I'm not saying it's wrong with anybody to choose to do things or live another way. That's on them. To me, that shit there, as a man, that's trash. That's garbage. Anytime you got to try to convince somebody of what you are, you ain't that. You is not that. Anytime somebody got to tell you I'm this, anytime somebody got to tell you I'm gangster, I'm street, they not. They just not. It's no way you are. Real recognize real all day long. Whether it's dark, whether it's hot, whether it's cold. It could be Little Rock, Arkansas. I done been able to function everywhere I go off of one principle, and that's respect. Period. Everywhere I done been a lot of places, a lot of cities, a lot of different hoods, and I've been able to be okay. Be just fine. And I ain't saying motherfuckers ain't look at me or we ain't had to have conversations and shit, but it was always some respect there. And that's why the internet shit be weird for me in general, because people say things like this thing, social media in general, not just YouTube, just social media in general, it gives people a license to feel like they can say anything to anybody because there's no consequence attached to it. Nobody can really hold you responsible for the shit you say out your mouth. I can't reach you or grab you through the screen. You know what I mean? You could be 1,000 miles away. So it gives people the ability to stand up to, talk shit to, shit on, the great lie on people they would normally be intimidated or afraid to speak to or talk to. That's what this thing does. That's all it does. And now what didn't happen is because of social media, because of places like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, these people, instead of it being, because we all encounter people like this. We encounter people like this as neighbors, people at work. You have people that talk shit at work just because they know it's work, and most people not going to jeopardize their job because they got people to take care of. You feel what I'm saying? We all know these people, right? We all know them. We all know a few of them. But what these things have did has gotten them all together in little communities where they all congregate together and they all get together and do shit to people and fuck with people. But you're going to encounter the wrong person one day. Wrong person one day. You're going to keep fucking with people, intimidating somebody. You see what just happened to that young man. That young man ain't do nothing wrong. That young man ain't do nothing but respect that soldier, that OG. He ain't do nothing but respect that man. Even while dude was talking shit. Only thing Shorty said was, which was true, but it triggered him. He took it another way. Shorty was like, if niggas was gonna rob you, they would have been robbed you. That's all Shorty said. But dude took that as, oh, you gonna rob me? You gonna rob who? Well, whoever gonna rob me gonna die. Like that's mental illness, man. Like something wrong with dude. Something wrong with dude. But nobody will look at that and say that or see that. They won't look at that on the news and say that or see that. You understand what I'm saying? They won't see that. They won't say that about dude. The other person that did commentary on that didn't say that. The first thing people want to do is call these people savages and say this and say that and the third. And say all this bullshit. We just take away. And me coming from where I come from and the lifestyle I used to live, I can't look at shit like that and say fuck shit out my mouth and try to act like I didn't have a mentality similar to some of the guys that's out there now. I just happened to get out of it early enough where I was still able to have all my parts, be able to walk, still live, be out on the street, and not give a whole lot of life to the state or the city. You know what I mean? I was able to get out of there. I was able to have a solid foundation and be able to move earlier. You know what I mean? And some of these people, for me to sit here and try to say whatever about most of these people when we know it's an issue and it's a problem, and you put people like this and you tell them y'all can't congregate together no more, y'all can't do this no more, y'all can't do that for this particular time. Then when they do go out and they're going out for no apparent reason and half of them still congregating and all getting together, you still gonna have people that's afraid. This gentleman was afraid. And I ain't spending too much time on it. It's just this situation really caught my attention, and this is probably going to be removed because it seemed like every time I put up something like this, it get reported or it get flagged, and YouTube remove it for whatever reason. But I felt like I needed to speak on that particular situation and a few of these situations. And some of them was lighthearted. I know that one was a little bit heavy. I watched it more than one time long before I put it up here just to make sure that it wasn't too graphic for some of y'all that visit my channel, because I didn't want nobody to be offended by the content. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want that. I never want that. You know what I mean? Even though the harsh reality of it is, these things are still going on during these times. One thing I can say about Baltimore City, for this short period of time while it's been going on, the murder rate has dropped down a little bit. It's not where it should be, but it has dropped down. Has dropped down tremendously. And even though I no longer live there, I have all my family is there. So I keep my ear to the street all the time because I got people there. And their safety is always important to me. You know what I mean? My little cousin, my first cousin, my little cousin, we more like brothers. We was raised together. He was arrested right before Thanksgiving. The feds came and got him. And all the time, I think because I be moving so much and I have so much to do between the hours that I work, spending time with my kids, trying to build this platform up. And this is always last on the list. I really haven't had a minute to actually talk to him. You know what I mean? And I can't go see him. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't called. You know what I mean? I haven't had a chance to send him a kite recently. Send him some money recently because it's important to me, for me. And I say this all the time, and I know for most people they like, oh, they did something to get in there, they in there. I just know what it feels like to be in there. And I know having that lifeline to the outside is very important. And we tend to forget about the people that's in there. Their life at a standstill when ours is constantly moving. And I just was telling myself today I got to get around. I got to make time to make sure that he know that I ain't forgot about him. You know what I mean? Because it's been a little minute. It's been a few weeks. You know what I mean? I just got to make sure that I do that. That's very important. But before I close this thing out, but it wasn't your fault. True. Yeah, I know. I know, Queen. It's just that I wish that and he was doing so good. He was doing so good. Like this was the longest stretch that he was home for a while. He had just got off parole and all that. And this was a situation that just popped up out of nowhere. I can't get into details about why it happened, but he really didn't do anything this time. That's the crazy thing. He really didn't do anything this time. Just happened to talk to the wrong person at the wrong time. I'll say that. That's about all I can say about it because it's an open case right now. I can't get into any details about it. Wouldn't be in nobody's best interest to put out there exactly what it is. But yeah, he didn't really do anything to put himself in this compromising situation. Like he was working, he was getting his life in order and constantly talking to me and picking my brain and constantly asking me all the time, like, cuz, how did you do this? Cuz, how did you do that? Cuz, how did you, stay away from it for so long? And the one thing that I was trying to get him to understand is what made it easier for me was removing myself from being accessible to the lifestyle, and the lifestyle being accessible to me. But everybody's not ready for that. And that's not to say that after I move, that it wouldn't be ways that I would be able to find it, but it's different when you're in a different place. And it's not all around you. Like, I had to make different decisions. I had to move different. You know what I mean? When times got tough, that wasn't my cushion anymore. You know what I mean? I couldn't just run back to that and do that. It wasn't never anybody suggesting it because they wasn't around. And that helped me stay focused. It was cut out as an option. Because what people don't understand is, and I keep it a buck with y'all, what people don't understand is people in the lifestyle, us who was in the lifestyle formerly, and addicts, it's not too much of a difference. It's not too much of a difference at all. We all, it's hard. You can't just, it's hard to walk away. It's hard to stop, is what I'm trying to say. And when you do, it's like it's constantly something there. It's constantly a reminder. I just turned 43 April the 7th. Every year. And I know what I just said was an incomplete sentence. I'm just moving on to further explain what I was attempting to say before so it's clear and understand. Every year, I talk myself into and out of another run. Every former hustler believe they got one last run. I don't. Time gone. Because you see stuff, and like, yo, they don't know what they doing. No, but I know now. If I did this, I did that. No, I had my time. Had my time from 92 to 98-ish. Had my time. But mentally, you still be thinking, I could do this. Nah, no, you can't. No, you can't. So forever, like they call addicts, like they say, people who are addicts, once you become an addict, you will always be an addict, no matter if you get clean or not. The same is for the dealer. The same is for us. Because that's constantly there. Now you got some people that get out here in front and perpetrate a fraud, and now that they done got their life together, they say this and they say that, and they look down on people because they done got themselves together, or they done found God, or they done found a religion, or they done found something that made them change their life or whatever. So they speak down on men and women from a certain type of environment. That's cool. That's their way of dealing with their guilt. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's their way of dealing with their guilt. Like, I don't like the term, and I know some of y'all that have been around for a while, y'all know this, but for the ones that don't, I don't like the term ghetto. I know people use it freely, and I know it's just like it's a harmless word to most people. But I'm going to explain why I don't like the term or the usage of the word ghetto, because it became, and once they started using it, it became a new way of calling something fucked up. Just because, and they use it to describe anything that's fucked up or bad. So if somebody talk in a certain way or they do something a certain way, oh, that's ghetto. Nah, everybody that come from there ain't like that. That's the way I take it. That's the way I take it. And that could be wrong, but that's the way the fuck I take it. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, because everybody that come from there ain't fucked up. Like, everybody that lived a particular lifestyle ain't fucked up. Realize it's some amazing fucking people. Some amazing inventions that was invented in jail. The things that motherfuckers go through to cook in jail. All kinds of shit. I ain't going down the line with all that. I'm just saying. It is no point. I don't like that terminology. And again, I don't knock it, whatever it is, but it's like, even when we use it to describe shit that's fucked up. I'm from there. I don't say that shit. My kids will tell you I don't say it. I don't let them say it. We say bootleg. That's what we say. And that's been stuck on them since they was kids. So I don't like that. You know what I mean? My ex-wife used to use it a lot. That's why I came up with the term bootleg. Like, nah, I don't like that. Because to me, that's like saying something about my mother, my grandmother, my stuff. That's like saying something about all the people that I know that ain't like that. That worked for a living, that was professional, that knew how to talk and speak correctly. But because somebody talk a certain way, or they say this a certain way, oh, that's ghetto. Or motherfucker do this, or that's ghetto. Nah, man. Nah. Don't work like that. Don't work like that. You don't get to use that to describe every fucked up thing that happens with somebody. No, you don't get to do that. Nah. So I don't do it. That's just the way I feel about that shit. And that is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that have supported what I do over these last few months. Everybody that continue to support, because I know y'all don't have to spend y'all time watching this shit. It's 150 million other content creators out there. 150 million other people that do exactly what I'm doing here. I try to be different. Yes, Queen P, that's exactly what they do. They use it. That then became the replacement for that. That's the replacement. But we the cause of that, because we continue to do it also. We do it to each other. Because somebody don't speak English properly, they ghetto, or because somebody mispronounced a word, all of a sudden they're not smart. Okay, they mispronounced the word. So the fuck what? If you ask somebody from England about the goddamn English language, you know what they'll tell your ass? That you ain't speaking it right neither. How about that shit? Because they would tell you the same damn thing. We torture their language like a motherfucker. Even the ones that speak it the way it's supposed to be spoke. And I don't like using the term preppy or proper and all that, because if that's the way you're supposed to say it, that's the way you're supposed to say it. But you got to think, most of us want the fucked up school systems in the first place. Most of our parents and their parents went to the same goddamn school systems. So a lot of us didn't go to schools in the suburbs. A lot of us didn't grow up in the suburbs. Good schools, you can tell the difference between those kids. Now let's keep it funky. You can tell the difference. It's a difference with my kids. My kids have never went to a city public school a day in their lives. They talk different. They talk different. Period. They talk different. That's based on where they want to. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop with that shit. You know what I mean? I know I fuck up words all the time. So the fuck what? I know what they is, though. How about that shit? Half of you motherfuckers use words, don't even know what they is. Yeah, like, I don't, like, to be honest, I don't even think, we talk all this shit about how to speak the English language and motherfuckers correcting each other and grammar. You know what agitates the hell out of me? And I watch this shit in chats. I done watch this shit on Facebook. I done watch this shit on all kinds of shit on Instagram. People running around trying to correct somebody's fucking grammar or the way. Motherfucker, ain't nobody writing no goddamn thesis. Nobody's writing a thesis. Somebody just trying to say what they got to say and keep it moving. But you always got these people talking about, either they'll say some shit like nobody's reading all that. And that's sad to even say. That's sad to even say. It's sad that somebody would even say some shit like that out their mouth. That I'm not going to read all that. Cool, you're not going to read all that. You got that group of people. Then you got the other group of people that want to run around and talk about punctuation points and shit. Motherfucker, you don't know how to read. You don't know how to read through and understand what somebody's saying without saying a comma or a question mark or some shit. Like, come on now. Really? That's what we doing? Don't even make sense. People do that all the time. Like, why? Why do you feel the need to do that? And then people will make posts about the people that do that. But then you know what that then does? That puts you in a situation that every time you put something on one of those sites, you have to do the same thing. Dummy. You got to do the same thing. Nobody got time for all that shit. Ain't nobody being graded on none of this shit. And people only got a tendency of really doing that when they disagree with something that the person is saying. As long as you're agreeing with some shit somebody say, they'll never say anything about what you put in there. Let's be laughing, because I don't even put all that. Not even doing all that myself. But I get why people do. You know what I mean? If you're trying to have a debate or converse with somebody and you try and get it all out there and you try and tell what it is, it's hard to put everything out there via commenting. It's hard to get it all out. So people be going in. Ain't nobody got time to be worrying about what goes here and what goes there. And it's amazing to me how often people look down, how we look down on each other all the time. Not even us as a community, us as people in general. Like, we really, really look down on each other all the time. All the time. And it's like we find reasons to. Like, it's amazing to me how me and somebody can have an issue and the first thing that'll come out their mouth is something about my complexion. What is the point of that? Why do you feel like, because you're saying it because you think I have an issue with my complexion, but I don't. And it's the same way on the other side. Somebody could be light-skinned, and then the first thing somebody will say about that person is a comment about their skin complexion. That shit is weird. It's weird. Or talk about somebody's living situation. Or, like, why are we doing that? Like, I don't concern myself with what other people do if it don't affect the money that's in my pocket. If it doesn't affect the money that's in my pocket, I'm not too concerned with how you make your money. So if you choose to be on welfare, or you choose to work at McDonald's, or you choose to work for a Fortune 500 company, none of that shit matters to me. I treat people based off of the character that they show me. And I respect them from the gate. Now, how our interaction goes further is whether or not you keep that respect or not. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get pointing out the obvious. I don't get pointing out complexion. I don't get pointing out those things. There's other things you can make fun of me about. I had a cracked tooth. Make fun of that. Make fun of the fact I wear glasses. I mean, make fun of the fact that my beard ain't all the way connected or something. Why the fuck is the first thing to come up? Complexion. That's not weird to anybody. Like, that's weird to me. Like, it never made sense. Like, even as a kid, it don't make sense. You saying that, meanwhile, your dad the same complexion as me. That's weird. That's weird as fuck. And I guess there's something wrong with us that way. I guess we've been programmed that way. That's the first thing that we resort to. While we sit around and we point fingers at everybody else, and we point fingers at what the problem is, and we blame it on him, we blame it on that, we still haven't fixed ourselves yet. We still haven't gotten healthy. You know what I mean? We still don't absorb proper information. We still don't share information. We still not about building as a community, giving out good vibes. You know what I mean? And we not about receiving those things neither, because most people would be, this live would be filled up with all types of people that never even supported my channel before, and the other half of the people that hardly ever come around to my channel. If I was sitting here speaking on some negative shit or about another content creator, people like that form of entertainment, and that's cool. Don't knock it. You know what I mean? I indulge in it from time to time. Because I think it could be somewhat entertaining. It would be even more entertaining if all the people who had issues with each other was able to, or somebody was able to put together little debate events, and people could come together and have an intelligent face-off of sorts. You know what I mean? And it ain't got to be about squashing your issues out. It can just be about us rapping and talking. And me actually saying why I don't fuck with you. And you saying why you don't fuck with me. But having that, I think that would be entertaining as fuck. But you know what? Would nobody be able to digest it? You know why would nobody be able to digest it? And wouldn't nothing come out of it? Because it wouldn't be nothing but a bunch of loud talking. But it's a market for this thing. Like, just think about it. Like, it can be marketed. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody could put this whole thing together, put something behind it, get people together, you know what I'm saying? Put them on a platform, make motherfuckers come up with have a mediator, have some subject matter, go over the course of the beef, where it stemmed from, you know what I mean? Why you don't like this person content, why you continue to go in on them, have different questions from each one, go back and forth and take it from there. And then you'll have people, a whole different set of content creators off of that type of content, because you'll have people doing commentary off of that. But people wouldn't be able to get together to where people will actually be able to understand what's going on, because people be too busy yelling over top of each other. But it would be dope, and it shouldn't even matter how big the YouTuber is and none of that. If somebody created something like that or did something like that, I will 100% support that, because it can be the place that people go to settle beef or push beef further, and also announce that they got an issue with somebody. It'd be a whole thing like that. You know what I mean? It would take somebody bigger to do it, because, people not going to do nothing unless it's on a big platform. So I'm just saying it just to be saying it, because I can't do it, because, I'm too small for it to be done over here. People always got a lot to say, and a whole lot to say. The bigger the person is. The bigger the person is, the more attention people give to it, and the more people go flocking over there, the more people want to be seen over there, because they feel like that's going to get them up to where they need to be, and I get it. But like I done told y'all, my motto is on the screen for this shit. Half of this shit need to be destroyed so it could be rebuilt. And I say, somebody, anybody, take this idea. One of you big guys might run across it. Take the idea, run with it. You know what I mean? And now I catch up with it. No, I ain't giving up. You know what I mean? This channel has grown over a short period of time. Granted, I'm doing it the hard way. You know what I mean? I ain't paid for not one subscriber. I didn't pay $100 to one of them little places to get subscribers and none of that. This is all organic. The whole 260 something I have is organic. All off of the strength of what I do, and y'all help and word of mouth and help from other content creators. But I did this, and I'm proud of that. No matter where it go or don't go, I'm proud that I done got to this point. You know what I'm saying? No matter how long it take, I figure the better I get at this, the more people will recognize. You know what I mean? And I appreciate all y'all. I continue to appreciate all y'all that fuck with my content. I really do. Peace. I'm gonna get out of here. Might be back for a late night show. I know I'm doing one early in the morning. That's something I'm working on. And I'm still working on a presentation I want to do on the White League. And some of y'all should really go research this. It's historical data. It's things that we don't do. Y'all should really look at this. Look at this thing. White League and red shirts, We always think of Ku Klux Klan and skinheads and things like this, but it's White League and red shirts. It's very interesting. When I do my whole little presentation, I'm going to tell y'all why. It's going to take a while. So I don't know if I'm going to do this in a live or I'm going to do it in a video setting and then speak on the presentation. But I think y'all will dig it. I think y'all will dig if y'all don't know too much about it. You know what I mean? Do some research on it if you like. Or when I do it, I'm going to set it up in a video package, upload it, and then I do a live like this, and we can sit down and talk about it. I think it's very interesting. Leads to a lot of other things. A lot of other things. It's just very, very interesting. Once you find out who they was and what they represented, and then what they turned into, some things start to make sense. I'm just saying, it's sad and dope at the very same time. But check it out. Peace. Love you. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Queen P, for stopping by yet again. And I might see y'all later. And always remember, look both ways before you cross the street. And remember, sometimes it's better to stay on the porch, because even the sidewalk ain't for everybody. I'm out of here.